Alright, so we got our fan shroud out, our water tank, reserve AC, window shield wiper, fan shroud. So now we'll work, oh wow, these fans look pretty fucked up. Oh well. So now we're gonna work on the serpentine belt, getting this off. We have a pulley belt here that we'll have to get off. It's a nut back there, that we need to get access to get this compressor and alternator bracket off. And we'll push that over. Then we'll get down here to our intake. So we'll be unhooking like these bolts here that's hooking up to the actual intake. I think this is a 10 millimeter, this is a 14. All these should be cinemized 12 millimeters, I think. Also it's equivalent to a 1/2 inch. So 1/2 inch bolts, I think it's about 8 of them. It'll center plate all the way around and take this bracket off. So that's what we're gonna get into now. Oh, and I never really mentioned why I'm changing this intake was to this problem more. So what we're looking at here is the housing for the water housing with the thermostat in there. The one in the very back, we had to rethread and it didn't work all so much, so we still have residue and gummage coming from that housing where it leaked out. And then, as you can see, we puttied this one to death and it still didn't work. So now we're going to get this belt off. Probably will change this belt because it doesn't look all that hot, along with everything else that comes out of here looking like crap. So let me take this belt and these buttons off that hook up in the front into the bracket, and we'll move forward. Alright, so we got our fan belt off. We taken our what is this called? Whatever this spinning thing is called that goes on this wheel bearing thing. Anyways, we got exclusion of some actual scraping marks here, so I guess that didn't really do too well, but hopefully it'll work when we put it all back together. So now we're gonna take this AC compressor / alternator panel harness off, which consists of these bolts here. This one's gonna hold the water housing hose or water reserve or whatever it is. This one here, as I reminded you and told you, this one here, it's under that tensioner. This one, and the one on the side. So keep in mind, we also want to take off the electric parts this stuff, because when you do get ready to take all of this off, the cords won't actually reach that far. So make sure you undo your electric now. So you have 2 for the AC compressor. Can barely take that off, so I have to use 2 hands. And then you have 2. Well, this doesn't. Here also that you'll have to unhook. So just keep in mind, take that stuff off before you unhook that bracket, because you'll have some electrical problems. So we're gonna take all that stuff off and I'll be back. So we have these loosened up already. I'm gonna start like taking them out as I go, but make sure this screw here on this bracket, and then this screw here, they'll actually, one will be longer than the other. So make sure when you take those out, they're actually placed as knowing which one's longer, because you'll get yourself into some stuff. Let me take these out real quick and I'll be back. Alright, so now we have the bracket off. We're down here to the bar none. As you can see, your intake manifold bolts are popping up. We're gonna have to take this part, carburetor has to come off. All this is kind of bolted onto each other. We'll start on our fuel lines, start on injectors, and pretty much we're down to like our last 15 bolts. Oh, don't forget, take your pressure out here. You can take like a screwdriver or something and just release the pressure. It shouldn't be no more than like 40 pounds torque pressure in here, so I don't know, I'll have to use two hands. But we're gonna take these fuel rails off, injectors out, and get this little puppy up. All right, give me a minute, I'll be back and have this stuff out in a jiffy. All right, so we are now done with our injectors. We put our injectors and our fuel line up over here on the right side. Clearly we don't have the left side done yet, but we're getting there. So you can see our fuel line is out. This is pretty smart to like just jot down where every electric goes, just so you don't get the wrong ones going to the wrong place. Especially here on this carburetor, one comes to the left, one comes to the right of this sensor, and both of those sensors are two different frequencies, so you don't want to mix those up. But we're gonna start taking this carburetor off, which includes this bolt here, these two bolts here, and I believe this bolt here. So that'll unhook that bracket and let that free, the carburetor free. Take off those 4 bolts, it'll come up. And then we're gonna keep working our way over here. Water reserve, another electric, and we'll pull our fuel lines and our injectors off. And we'll start with taking this intake, bringing this intake up. So give me a minute and I'll be right back. So we got all our fuel lines, injectors. As you can see in here, this doesn't look all that hot at all. Very, very bad threads in there. So we're gonna take this intake manifold off, get another one, because this one isn't any good. As I say, our problem was here. We tried to rethread. We got shavings all off in there. So that's not good. When we get ready to turn it on, we're gonna just take the whole manifold off, replace the manifold, get another one in here. Right now we're gonna take these intake actual holdings to the motor bolts off. There's, I believe, 11 of them, starting in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 in the very back there. So after we get those bolts off, it should just come right up, as far as I know. So let me get ready to take this off. We have this one here. Look who woke up this morning to come help. What's up, baby? I told you I was gonna make my video, and 2 hours in, I'm almost there. Anyways, we'll be back. I'll take this intake out for y'all real quick. So all of our bolts are out. We got all of them out. It's 12 of them. Sorry if I told y'all 11, but it's actually 12 13mm bolts. They're all sitting there. We got some that actually have some lubricant on them. So look, those came like from the front here. So that actually could have been from actually the leaking, the residue here. That's probably the reason a lot of the leakage also probably messed up the seals that are stuck to the manifold. But we're gonna pop it up now, get out of here and try to get another one in here, hopefully today. So bear with me. I'll take this up, bring this up. When you're bringing this up, it's gonna come forward and then up. So for anybody that knows, you got a distributor cap back there, so you only have a little room to push it back, so you push it forward and up. Anyways, give me a second and I'm gonna bring this up for you guys. So we have our intake out, sitting over there, looking sad and lonely because it's really raggedy. We did pull up. We got a very large amount of stuff everywhere. The head and the back's letting out water, so we're gonna have to get a shop vac and fix all of this up because just no way. This is really bad. So we don't want this water to mix in with this oil and stuff, so we're going to take our time and try to get all this stuff out of here. So this is pretty much it for taking it out. The gaskets, all these gaskets need to be changed out, pliniums and stuff like that. We're going to change all that stuff out because it's corroded and dirty. So had a good day. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll try to get another one in here today so you guys can see how this stuff gets good. Okie dokie.